Jo, vysvětluju nový videa, jmenuje Saker. Dnes bude trošku jiný video, protože jsem vyhrál jeden profesionální Geoguessr turnaj. Tam se hrálo dost dobrých hráčů. A možná jsem měl trošku lehčí bracket ten týden, ale podle mě jako jsem hrál dost proti dost dobrým hráčům. Třeba první zápas byl proti Americas Winnerovi 104 Jinjimu. To pro mě byl nějaký easy zápas. A jo, všechny ty zápasy byly BO3. Já se vám tohle video bude líbit, tak můžu natočit druhý part, protože jsem vyhrál si před měsícem ještě jeden takový turnaj, takže můžu udělat video i na to. Takže jo, prostě tu můžu ukázat, takže jo.
And yep, this, of course, Ginger did beat Wafflies in the first round, and yeah, Nora's aim on. Like I say, I think Rise needed a later game anyway, and obviously he's not online yet. So, yeah, best of luck to Zeka and Gingy. Let's begin the first match, first game between them. And remember, in the second round, it's from the second round games, it is a best of 3. So there is 2 best of 1 games left. Myself and Krania and Amon yet either. 2 very different guesses in US here. Could be big damage. I did like Zeka's guess more. The sandy vibes from Maine, but the lakes, the Salt Lakes also make sense logistically, so I didn't mind either guess. But we are back in the US here, this time a lot more south. Yeah, I would probably send, I don't mind the Mississippi send. Could even be like more towards the north part of Mississippi, wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, I was thinking like Mississippi, Louisiana, something more west. But looks like we have a Texas consideration from Zeka as well, so there could be points here. Don't think it's going to be enough for game, but both players are weighing up a similar area now, and it's somehow Georgia. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying Georgia on that, but fair enough. And oh, this coverage feels very learnable. This feels very learnable, this road. Let's see if players know anything about it. Well, it reminds me of Tartarstan, but the soil also makes me think west, so yeah, because trees think Tartarstan, the soil is a bit weird, but it could be a weird East Kirov or something, but potential game ender here. And it was Vologda. Yeah, I mean, it felt distinctive, the road, but I just did not understand what the trees were doing in Vologda there. Fair enough. But right now, Zeka does have a 1.6k lead, but there have been rounds where both players have been a bit off, but like I say, it is NNPZ. It's very hard to be as consistent as you are in no move. And it looks like what we have Lithuania lines, I'm guessing, with these very long lines. Looks like we've got some form of antenna blur going on. We have got a Latvia versus Lithuania here. I mean, I've seen extra long road lines in Latvia before, because the road lines did seem a bit weird, and Gigi did get it correct, so fair play. Good morning, Gralius. Hope all is well. But yeah, just let me know if you're all good to play probably whenever this best of 3 ends. Adame will probably make sure you're not in the middle of a duel when it's getting to the conclusion, if avoidable. I don't mind Serbia. I would probably lean more into Mont here. Yeah, sure, I can play it. Nice, okay. If Kranny's not around, we'll play you and Amon next then. But you and Amon, of course, will be a best of 1. Wait, we've got a Kosovo send. Wait, hold up. Hold up. He switched to Monty at the end. And I think Gingy was... Okay, I thought Gingy was trying to aim on, but he wasn't. But it was Mont, but it was a lot more south than I expected. Interesting. Is this just... Wait, is this just... Wait, what is going on here? Is this just Finland again near the coast? Or is it Åland? It might just be Åland this time. But it could be some peninsula stuff further east as well. But it's just Åland, so both players getting that. But yeah, this is an interesting lock. We do have a send from Zeka in the west, actually, near Eldoret. But yep, we'll see who's going to be closer here. Potential damage on round 8. And yeah, really nice guess from Gingy there. It's going to be a big chunk as well, 600. I'm not sure if either player are on the right road right now, but maybe I'm missing something. I haven't really recapped this area yet. But we'll see. I do like Gingy's guess a lot more though. Yep, it is the Akmola Road I thought it was, yep. But that's a big round for Gingy again. Back-to-back 600 health rounds. I was a bit gamble for a second, but it should be India. Don't know if Rallis has a vibe here. It's a bit weird. I've got some brick, I guess, so maybe like a South UP could work. Like bordering MP maybe. I'm not too sure. It feels really dry. And I don't know, the vegetation just feels weird. So this could be game here. And it was Raj. Okay. Makes sense, but it's not going to be game. I thought to be 250 points further away, so... And he's going to be closer here, actually. And 350, the gap is getting, you know, it's getting tight, but right now we've got carousel, so we can just train our maker map so that but this one though should be, I think both players are on the right lines. Yeah, I don't know where it gets dry, but it might be more closer to Skeleton Coast National Park, but we'll see. And Zeko's gonna be closer there. I mean, Namibia is big. It's a big chunk of points, but it's not gonna be game. But yeah, looks like we both are in France here. Very similar guesses, but Gingy needs to ideally be closer here on 2.3 times. Yeah, anything more than 81, well, anything 81 or more is going to be game, and a very close guess here from Gingy. He's keeping himself alive. I mean, it is a best of 3, and it feels like this could be a game on its own. This could be the match on its own, honestly, how tight this is. We're on round 15 on NMPZ, which is very impressive. I mean, I've got small cam. Gingy is in Greece at the moment, but he is now debating Italy. I mean, I could see coastal France or Italy, like near the Alps, but I prefer the Greece guess more. And looks like we're gonna have, unless Gingy switches, which he was considering Bosnia. He was considering Bosnia towards the end, but he decided to stay. And the first game is going to be a win for Zaker. So Zaker takes the 1-0 win. We have yet to see a comeback in these games. So for Gingy to make it through to the semi-finals, he will have to win the next 2 games. But Zaker only needs to win the next one, so... And he's through. But we are signed off with Canada, I think. To me, this one could be Nova Scotia, but it could also just be... Yeah, I don't mind either guess here. We could have an aim on incident here too. Because I'm not sure if Zeke is actually in Canada. Okay, he is in Canada, he's in New Brunswick. I don't mind New Brunswick, I just can't tell what the Insulet was doing. Yep. But he did get New Brunswick, very nice guess there from Zaker to start things off. Yeah, I mean... Reminds me of like a weird like Texas New Mex. Could even be like a weird Kansas, honestly. Near Oklahoma border, maybe is possible. We have got a New Mexico from Zaker and a Oklahoma Panhandle from Gingy. And that is a really nice guess from Gingy. Getting the Panhandle there of Oklahoma is very, very, very nicely done. Is that the correct bracket? I'm not sure if it is. But thank you for the reminder. But yeah, I will share the bracket end of the match. Oh well, this could be the game. We've got. Yeah, I think I like Zeker's guess more. But we'll just see. We'll just see what happens here. I mean, you never know. And yep, Zaker is going to take the win there. And that's going to be a 2-0. So GG to Zaker. And that is NPZ for you. This stuff can happen a lot more often. But yeah, definitely could see the tunnel vision with Argentina there, or the thought of it. So it does happen though. But GG's to Zeka and Gingy, but Zeka will make it through to the semi-finals. Watching who he's going to be facing. But yeah, best of luck to both players. It is a best of 3, of course. And let's begin. So will it be Zeka or will it be Philip making it to the finals? We'll find out shortly. Crazy. But yeah, the first round goes to Philip. Okay, looks like... I mean, there is a danger of this being Ecuador, actually. But it's probably just Costa Rica. But there is a danger of this being a very weird Equa, but... I think you go Costa Rica by default. Yep. Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bars looked yellow for a second, but they were just throwable lads. Both players just getting on top of each other, not trying to get the 5k, which is a bit sad. Because you never know, like, we did see a game go to 7 health, like, you just never know, you know? But I would say, like, the pace at which a lot of these players have been getting today has been quicker than normal, which might explain why the games have ended so quickly. How fast, you know, not quickly, but how quick this tournament has been advancing. Good morning, Crab Lane. Hope all is well, Jeff. Okay, we've got Namibia here. I do need to recap the road stuff in Namibia as soon as possible, ideally. And it is going to be Philip who's going to be closer here. Philip's had a really good start in this game. This one feels like Northeast Brazil. It almost feels like Sergipe Pernambuco to me. I'll probably go Sergipe again, honestly. I'm not sure I like MT though, but it's possible. I do like Zeka's guess more. Okay, and it is Alagoas this time, yeah. I was going to say, play felt more towards Pernambuco, which probably could be a good reason to lean more Alagoas, but a good round from Zeka there to take the lead. Oh, it's not. Okay, that's fine. Seems to have missed a lot this time. Must have been... Yeah, like I say, it's a bit... There's not as many people playing in this one. There's 14 out of a possible 32, so it was quite, you know, a quiet sign-up, I would say. And the games did go quite quickly. The best of one, some of them. But they were good quality, though. But also, there's been a couple of delays, so some games have not happened yet. Or might have to be... some people might have to be given buys as well, so... I mean, that's going to be a decent round for Zeka again. I mean, 1,000 points, despite missing the country. Still a really nice region guess from him, though. I can't believe it's not even 11 AM yet. This is like going to be the opposite to, like, last night. Yeah, I mean, I've got a busy day today anyway, and probably, you know, if I do finish early, it might be good to try and get some cards out of the way before I get some seeds in for the rest of the day, and I've got Oz practice. But that's going to be GG. A nice region guess there from Zeka. Takes the 1-0 lead. Obviously, I can't answer it off their behalf at times, but I could definitely give my perspective, and others in chat can give theirs if they have something that could be helpful. But we do start off with the first, a big round again for Philip to take points. So far this has been very similar to the first game, but Philip has took more damage earlier off Zeka. Okay, this is a weird round. Wait. Yeah. This is weird. Because why did I think it was... I thought India, but like, could this ever be like a weird Ecuador? Because I thought this was Ecuador coverage. Yeah, this could be game. I do want to see Ecuador versus India, because this double guardrail thing feels very Ecuador. Wait. Philip is in Kerala. And it was Goa. Okay. when did India have that type of guardrail? I know chevrons kind of threw me off. But good save from Zeka that I might have sent Ecuador though, not gonna lie. Because I know Ecuador has like some random ship cam cars that can look weird. But yeah, that was a weird lock. I don't know if Rice had anything there, but yeah, very weird one. Kind of on me, but because I usually check the chat on my phone. But that's a nice guess from Zeka. So Zeka's definitely going to prevent the force there. And does get an 800 pointer. But yeah, Zeka's definitely has had slow starts in the first two games. But also you could just say Philip has had strong starts in the early stages. But this one's going to be very important. I mean, brake lights. I think I like Rondonia more actually, but it's actually Tocantis. I mean, Tocantis makes more sense. I didn't like Marinier, but Tocantis I don't mind. So yeah, a nice round there for Philip. And he takes the win. So we are starting off with Europe. We've got 21 copyrights. So I think Czech is looking good right now. But it could be elsewhere. I mean, we have got a France consideration from Philip. Maybe that pole is a bit more French, with the way the metal is on the top. But we'll see. We'll see where Zeka will go. It's really hard to make out poles like this with half the size of the screen. But I'm guessing it's a French pole because both are in France. And both are fairly close too. So not much to say about that, but we are back in Brazil. I think Brazil's been quite a problem for a lot of players in NMPZ in this tourney. So we got no insulators here and long support, so that should be mostly a Bayer or a RN thing. I'm pretty sure these are long insulators. I don't think this is the Ciara variant. It is a bit weird though. It could be a weird perma, but I thought Bayer, so yep, just a weird Bayer. Like that's a weird pocket as well. Didn't expect it to be that in that valley, but I think Zeka's guess was better anyway, and he does take a decent chunk off Philip's health there, 1100. So this third game's had a different type of start to the last two. Yeah, coconut spammer I prefer usually more that south, but to be fair, it is like island. It isn't like a line, but it was Slampung or South Sumatra, so that is a weird round again. But yeah, no flawless here for Zeka, but you know, I think in this patch you only care about getting the win. And Zeka is going to be closer here. Nobody in Bayern, but Zeka is going to take a couple hundred off Philip there. And I assume this is Europe. Bit more tricky to get this one. I mean, I thought Denmark or something like hilly Belgium or France. Wait, it could be. Could this? I mean, could this be Poland? I mean, I could see Poland. I don't mind Zeka's guess. Though the way the land is made feels weird for Poland, but the elevation kind of works. And it was Germany, okay. I mean, Zeka's vision's probably better there. You know, I think West Poland's probably more similar there. So very nice round there for Zeka. I mean, did miss the country, but I did like the vision there from him. And yeah, the 100k game experience would show there. But I think this should be Costa Rica again, probably on the east coast, I would assume, if it is Costa Rica. Whereas Philip is just weighing up middle at the moment, but he seems to be a bit more not 100%. Whereas Zeka is a bit more confident for sure. And it was actually updated copyright this time in Panama, but it was on the east coast. Zeka was just spending all the time scanning the wrong country. Happens. Average updated copyright moment. Okay. Very big poll that actually. I mean, it does look good for the Philippines, I guess. I did think Indo early on, but I think Philly is better. We have got a Panay consideration from Philip. Zeka, I have not seen his pin down, but he is in late. I honestly don't mind East, but it is actually Batangas. Yeah, that's not an easy round. Especially if you commit not middle, it could come back to bite you on... Yeah, because Philippines does punish you more than you think it does. We have UAE here. I think I prefer Zeka's guess or more towards the east side, but it could be where Philip is as well. But if Zeka is close, that's going to be a decent chunk of damage, but maybe Philip is cooking. I have no idea. Yep, I mean, to be honest, Zeka should stay where he was. But maybe he was just covering. But a decent chunk of damage, as I said, for Zeka. Let's take off Philip. Okay, this is going to be a big round here. Reminds me of East Poland, Ukraine. Lithuania, but both are going Poland, and it's actually Bryansk. That is not an easy Bryansk. I've seen weird Bryansk lots like that before though, so it does make a lot of sense. But that was a potential match-winning moment, but I don't think I'm sending. Yeah, I'm not sending Bryansk on that with that amount of time. But it is something you need to think about as a consideration. NPZ can look very similar to like Ukraine and Poland at times. Oh, we've got two very different region guesses here, and it's going to be Zeka winning in the Adriatic Sea, and that is going to be GG. So yeah, Zeka takes the win in the end, and that will mean Zeka is in the final. Okay, we're starting now, and yep, this is the final. This is the final. So lock in everybody. We have Zeka, who's won it once, and Rice, who's won it 3 times. And yeah, we'll find the winner today. Will it be Rallies for the 4th time? Or will Zeka get his 2nd win? And to be fair to Zeka, he didn't win one too long ago. So Zeka was on like a very long drought with not winning an invitational. But he has one under his belt now, so he could definitely use that as a confidence booster. But best of luck to both players. Both have definitely deserved to get to this final. Yeah, I mean, it happens, yeah. At least you got that, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, coverage checking is so important for limited countries. Like, you'd be surprised that you can just not... It's not necessarily knowing it, it's recalling it. Like, it's very easily... It can very easily happen if you are not checking up on things in build-ups. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But the thing is, like, NPZ, it depends on the map, because, like, Hugh might grind a lot of NPZ, but then just the locations that do come up might, because I think, I would also argue at the same time, I think playing, you know, it's good playing lots of, you know, not spamming NPZ as often. I tend to play better in NPZ in terms of decision making. And maybe the harder rounds I do worse. And that, I guess that's the dilemma, is you have to find a balance between the two. But yeah, game count is important, but also at the same time, like, you could play thousands. You could comes up like half a year later, you know, as well. Like, you could just make your own, generate your own map maybe, and just practice 100k locations. So yeah, and I think the roads will be over 100k, but I'll have to make it like split it into different maps or prune it a little bit. But yeah, there's a few. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. I think in pressure situations, you'd be surprised at how often that can happen. Like, I know, like, if Rice brought up Kyrgyz, if Rice didn't tunnel vision Europe, he would definitely be sending Kyrgyzstan there. That would be my assumption. Because I am sure he knows that coverage. He just didn't bring it up, you know, in the thought process. You could also argue that might be a thought process error rather than... It could be a... But then again, that's such like a limited coverage where, like, it would be a 5-minute job, won't it? Like you said, it's a few roads. Just give Kyrgyzstan like an hour, and you can probably make sure like you don't. I know it is pretty easy. You can get the roads most of the time. But be like, but you shouldn't be getting the roads pretty much all the time. Even at NPZ, it's doable. So like, and then you got the urban rounds, and people are not that good at urban rounds and practicing grid lining and getting used to what grid angles there are. Like, there's so many things. Like, you might think you're good at something, but then the hard round comes, and then you like don't even bring up that country because you're just too confident with it. But that is going to be game. A very nice Spain guess there from Zeka. I mean, it wasn't the best region guess in Spain, but damn. Yeah, I don't know why I'm in North SP yet. I mean, that's why I assume. I think also another thing as well with time pressure. I mean, maybe I keep calling you Walrus and Rallius. Bloody Crania. The other thing as well is like NPZ, you might spend all the time just figuring out the country, and then you make a very bad region guess. Important. It really is. Rusty you can get by even just taking a week off. There's a reason why you have to keep actively doing stuff. Whether it's playing, you have to do a mixture of playing and coverage checking and stuff. Like I said, that's why information stuff. Like if I try and do all Swedish and powers now, I would have forgotten like probably 75% of how unsharp you can get. I would say. Because also, it's a lot of Geoguessr is also decision making. Like at the highest level, I feel like what separates a lot of top players from each other is decision making. Like yes, some rounds you will have rounds that suit the other person. I think decision making and the mental side of Geoguessr is the most underrated thing, especially in the especially when you're playing at a LAN or if you're playing in like the World League or anything very major. I mean, you can even experience it in duels, like just by playing skill issue and how many of you lost because of bad decision making. And I feel like usually for me, I probably lose more points nowadays by bad decision making than I do by skill issue. So like, there's a lot of arguments, but right now, in this game, Zeka obviously, if he wins, he will win the whole thing. But Riot is getting MS here, very nice guess. That's decent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the skill gap between a lot of top players now isn't as big as people think it is. So like, and also with more players like for like 3/4 of the game, and then when it comes to the round that you need to be close on to win or to not lose, you make the bad decision. But yeah, I mean, I do agree. But at the same time, I feel like, especially on harder maps, at times like there is that argument that decision making is more important. Because I just feel like if you're being wasteful, then you're just asking for trouble. Like if you can't even get the rounds that you should be getting right, then how are you going to get the rounds people can get better? Like some players need to work more on the decision making. And that's what probably letting them down a little bit more than the general consistency. And I always feel like there's at least 1, 2, or maybe 3 rounds wherever I should have made better decisions in the rounds themselves. Always. There's always 1 or 2 region guessing a lot of it as well. Like, it's not just about bad decision making on a country. It's like bad decision making on region guessing. Because the score adds up eventually, you know? Thinking, okay, with this vegetation and with this car, I'm thinking more towards Sundsvall. And then I say, oh, but maybe it could be near Norway border, and I don't stick with my initial thought, then I could lose like 1,000 points in a month. Yeah, I mean, you're a very consistent. You're just a much more experienced NPZ player as well. Yeah. Like I said, really try and think about the thought process more, because I've noticed that like what's made me lose a lot of games, I would say, in the World League and especially in the wild card, it was horrendous decision making. It was really bad. And obviously tunnel visioning happens here and there too, but it happens to everybody sometimes. Yeah, and also decision making is something you just you will improve on by making those bad decisions in the past and getting better with more experience. But that is a huge guess from Zeka. And that's going to be game. Damn. So Zeka wins his second invitational. And yeah, I mean, he played really well in those games. I mean, Rallius had some nice guesses of his own. Yeah, I mean, I think Zeka just struck at the right time there. Kind of similar to what Moo did in his games last night, where he might have been trailing a fair amount of the game, but he struck when he needed to, and that is GG. Merch did both games. I mean, the way I see it is they were big rounds and you made a big region guess when you needed to. And yeah.
OK, takže to by bylo všechno. Bohužel Harry já povedal celý finále úplně nějaký úplný sradce, ale že moc to tam nekomentoval ty gesy, ale tak jako aspoň něco. Takže jo, vyhrál jsem svůj druhý turnaj na Harrier, na Harrier turnajích. A jo, jestli tohle video bude mít třeba 10 lajků, tak natočím, jak jsem vyhrál ten turnaj předtím. Takže budu rád, jestli like, odběr a čau.